Welcome to the last Inktober video. It's over. Get back to normalcy now. So we will finish Inktober off. I have the last 4 prompts in this video, and we'll start with day 28, camping. Now, there are some scary facts about the Blue Mountains here in Australia where people go and camp. And it's been known to be quite scary and have some paranormal properties there. So the Blue Mountains are situated in the regional west side of Sydney in New South Wales, Australia. And there are several camping sites available to book, but it can be a scary place. There has been murders, disappearances of hikers and campers, and allegedly people have sighted lights and UFO activity. Apparently, there has been a shit ton of reports, like over 600, about seeing a black panther prowling the area. People reckon it escaped from a zoo, but who knows? It's probably a really big domestic cat. But apparently it has killed livestock and pets in that area. Conspiracy theorists believe that there is UFO bases under there, as weird loud roars and throbbing noises have been recorded underneath. There has been numerous Yowie or Bigfoot sightings there, with someone even reporting that they have seen a UFO drop down a Yowie or Bigfoot from a beam of light to the ground. There was an incident roughly 5 months ago of 2 bushwalkers encountering a young child at Blackheath between Govert's Leap and Evans Lookout between 3:45 p.m, and they said it was a very creepy and disturbing encounter. The boy was alone and asked them if they had seen his mum, but then he just ran off. He was described as about 10 years old, blonde hair and Caucasian. No one had reported a boy or woman missing. I would have checked his eyes, to be honest with you. I would have checked his eyes to see if they were black, because we all know of the urban legend of the black-eyed children, which is going to be a video I will release very soon. There's a bit of a spoiler for you about the black-eyed children, so stay tuned for that. So in the illustration that I have done, I decided to go with, a camping scenario with some little aliens hovering around with a UFO, with a beam of light, with mountains in the background to represent the Blue Mountains. And yeah, there's a tent there with a can on the ground and a fire, but he's got a story. There's a book inside the tent that you'll see that says UFO studies, and there is a blood trail leading out from the tent and over to the side, like what has happened to this guy. He's basically gone missing now, and there's a blood trail. So that's what I went with for that prompt, and I'll let you watch the rest of that, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes with the next one. Now, day 29 is uh-oh, and the funniest thing that I could think of, and this was the absolute first thing that I thought of when I saw the word uh-oh, and I decided to come up with like an idea for it, was accidents while cutting hair. Yeah, I know. I don't know why that just popped into my head, but I run with it because I trust my brain when it comes to this sort of stuff, because as far as I'm concerned, it's like sending messages to me. That's what I think anyway. But there has been stories of people getting their ears snipped, injured or cut off by their hairdressers. People have even tried to sue or get the hairdresser arrested after cutting their ears. If you want to see something funny, there is a video getting around of a barber prank. He's pranking a child and he's pretending to cut off his ear. It is absolutely hilarious. Like I'll put a link below in the description if you want to have a look at it. But yeah, the kid's just like, oh my god, there's just blood everywhere. And yeah, it's pretty funny. Like, yeah, if you like that sort of stuff. But yeah, I went with the illustration that I went with was of two aliens. They're two different species of aliens, and one's getting a hair cut by the particular alien that is a specialized hairdresser, because this particular alien has one hand as scissors, so he is like the intergalactic hairdresser, this particular alien breed. And this one little fella's gone in to have a bit of a haircut, and I don't know why I was going to put hair on him, but I didn't, and I sort of have forgot now that I'm looking at it. It's a bit silly, but I probably could have added it, but too late now. I went with the alien sort of cutting his ear off, and the alien's just like, oh, sorry about that, but he's horrified because his big ear has been snipped off. So I'll let you watch the rest of that, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes for the next one. Day 30 gear. Now, once again, the first thing that sort of popped into my head for this one was scary facts about gear accidents. And I have heard a lot of these going around, and heard stories of factory workers getting limbs completely munted in machines. So when I saw gear, brain went ding straight off with something getting mutilated through a machine with gears. But scary facts, did you know that gear and pulley accidents are some of the most severe and fatal injuries sustained by machine, usually during work due to moving machine parts? These injuries include limbs being pulled into the machine and crushing arms, legs, fingers, and worst case scenario, death in the gears that move. Safeguards are usually installed on machinery where moving gears and pulleys are, but if someone just happens to have a lapse in concentration or the guard is removed, accidents can still happen. Usually when arms and legs get stuck in gears, it's amputation from that limb because it's going to be crushed beyond repair. Now, I presume it'll be like this for every country in the world, but we get a lot of, because we've got a lot of farmers here, we get a lot of tractor incidents where they roll the machines over, they roll the tractors over, and they get limbs crushed, or they are operating in machinery where their arms do get caught. We do have a lot of those sort of accidents here, and I presume it'd be around the world, and I reckon it'd be absolutely awful. It'd be terrifying to be caught in one of those machines. And with the illustration I did, that's what I captured of this monster. Basically, don't ask me why he's decided to stick his arm in it. Maybe he's a monster that likes doing it. I don't know. It's sick and twisted, but yeah, he's got his arm stuck between the gears and it's crushed it, and it's come out the other side all munted and crushed and minced, and then there's a bit of a bone sticking out. Yeah, and now he's screaming because yeah, he got his arm ripped off in a machine. This one's pretty self-explanatory, and yeah, Probably one of my favourite illustrations as well. I really do like this one. It had a bit of an ugly phase, but yeah, when I completed it, I'd have to say it's one of my favourites. So yeah, I'll let you watch the rest of this one, and I'll be back for the absolute final prompt drawing in Inktober. Oh my god. So day 31 in the final day is farm. Now this is some scary facts about a particular farm homestead called the Monte Cristo in New South Wales. Now the Monte Cristo homestead is located in a small town called Junee, New South Wales in Australia, on a large property with stables. The Crawley family inhabited this farm, but what went on here was nothing less than frightening. William Crawley built the house in 1885, and him and Elizabeth Crawley had 7 children. William died in the house in 1910 of a heart failure and blood poisoning from a boil on his neck. Elizabeth died in 1933, and it's her spirit that apparently never left. The other people that died there never left either. A stable boy died after his mattress caught alight. A pregnant maid threw herself off the balcony. It's alleged she was pregnant with William's child. They also say that Elizabeth may have pushed her off the balcony as well when she found out. In 1961, a caretaker was shot dead by a boy who was inspired by the movie Psycho. A young boy fell to his death down the stairs. Apparently, a man named Harold Steele was chained to the back of the cottage for 30 years after developing a mental illness from an accident that made him feral and aggressive. He was apparently the son of the maid that worked there, but died giving birth to him. The howling of him is still heard at night to this very day. I don't know about that one. That one's a little bit of a urban legends conspiracy. Not sure about that. You can stay overnight in the homestead as it's a bed and breakfast, but some people can't last the night because of the noises and apparitions seen in the home, and people just get too terrified and end up leaving halfway through the night. Reg and Olive Ryan have owned the homestead since 1963 and restored it. It also operates as a museum and antiques showcase. The hauntings and noises are apparently constant, from voices calling names, smoke smelling smells, you've got footsteps, a death smell, and creaking of wood in the house. Animals such as cats will not enter the home. That is fucking terrifying. Reg and Olive say that the spirits leave them alone, but it's just the strangers that come in that they don't like. Apparently, if you disrespect the spirits, they can make you sick. So with the illustration that I did for this final prompt, I did a quick sketch of the actual homestead. This is what it looks like from the front. It's a little bit more condensed, obviously, but I did it sort of like in a finer liner, so it didn't stand out as much as the boy standing in front. And I did a ghost apparition boy sort of walking through some hazy mist. That's why you can't see some of his the rest of his legs. And what I did was I did an outline with some with a Posca pen, a white Posca pen, just to give like a glow to sort of insinuate that this young boy is a ghost, and he's one of the young boys that has died on this property. That's Inktober done and dusted for 2022. I got through it. Did you guys get through it? Did you finish the whole thing at all? Or you know, are you still going? Are you catching up? But things are going to return back to normal from next Sunday with my videos. We will come back with the conspiracy, the scary facts, and the true crime videos that have artwork that is going to, you know, be about the particular thing that I talk about. Happy Halloween, which is going to be in a couple of days for a lot of the world, but Halloween is tomorrow for us. And you know, I celebrate Halloween all year round. My channel is just scary all year round, so I don't really celebrate it on one day. I celebrate it 365 days of the year. So I am out of here. Happy Halloween, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.